Former presidential candidate and socialist nudnik Bernie Sanders has published a new book for young adults. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, that Andrew Klavan, he's so funny and creative. Those wacky, hilarious ideas he comes up with, they just make me laugh and laugh. But no, I'm actually not making this up. The 75-year-old Sanders, a man who spent his honeymoon in the Soviet Union because he just can't get sexy unless he's surrounded by breadlines and gulags, has decided to spread the wisdom of socialism to a new generation of ignoramuses and suckers with a book entitled Bernie Sanders' Guide to Political Revolution. In an interview with anyone who would still talk to him, Sanders said, quote, "I wanted to reach out to all those little whippersnappers with their gizmos and whatnots to pull them away from their bebop music and sock hops long enough to explain to them why socialism is really keen," unquote. In one chapter called Everything You Have Belongs to Me, Sanders writes, quote, "Why dagnabbit you young people today have this dang fool notion that if you work for something, you should be able to keep it. Why in my day, a fellow understood that all the money you make actually belongs to the state because the state knows how to use it better than you do. So just don't be such smart Alex and think you know so much when you're still wet behind the ears, you darn rascals," unquote. In another chapter called Socialism Works in Scandinavia or someplace, Sanders writes, quote, "You young bucks think you're so smart. You think just because socialism destroyed the Soviet Union and transformed Venezuela into a hellhole that there's something wrong with it. Well, believe me, you good-for-nothing rapscallions, socialism works just great in some of them there Scandinavian countries I've never been to. And if I could remember the names of some of them, why, by cracky, I'd cite some facts and figures about them to prove my point," unquote. The book was published at the end of August and has already generated some good Amazon reviews from its intended audience. One review says, quote, "I have never read a book before and found it hard because of all the words in it, but now I know that socialism is the bomb," unquote. Another review read, quote, "Speaking as a millennial, which means I know absolutely nothing and yet still want to be taken seriously for some reason, I just want to say, yay socialism, or like whatevs," unquote. Reporters for the Daily Wire approached Sanders for an exclusive interview about the book, but Sanders shouted at us from his porch, quote, "Get off my property, you dadgum juvenile delinquents. What do you think this is, a socialist country," unquote. Trigger warning, I'm Andrew Klavan, and this is The Andrew Klavan Show.